Hey, monkeys! How you doing? Damien Keys here. I'm in Warwick Services in the middle of the UK. Just stopped for 5 minutes to give you a bit of an update because there's a lot going on. I've got everything I need. I've got my Starbucks coffee because you know me, I like tea. I made them put 2 tea bags in because, you know, Starbucks tea tastes a bit like dishwater mixed with piss. So that's sort of a bit more resembling tea. So not too bad, but I've been up north and now I'm off back down south. I've been up in Crewe for the day, having some meetings up near Liverpool, Manchester area, and now I'm going back to Brighton, which will be another sort of 3 or 4 hours. So I thought I'd update you before I go. Just stopped off for a wee and some Starbucks, but there's a lot been going on the last 2 weeks. I've been in Boston. I did the Boston thing. I did a thing at Berkeley, that was amazing. Then from there, I did the talk at a social media event as well. That was really good in Boston. Then I came back and did some gigs. Then I went to Manchester. There's lots of videos on YouTube, 2 videos on YouTube and a few more coming up about how the Manchester thing went. I met some amazing people. I think there'll be a lot more value from that. With some videos coming up. Then after that I did some gigs. I was at the weekend on Friday I was in Nottingham, and then after Nottingham I was in Canterbury. Yesterday I drove to Crewe, today driving back. So I feel like I'm putting on the miles. I'm in a hire car, but I tell you what, if you want to know the difference between a Vauxhall Mocha and a Ford Mondeo, I'm your geezer, effectively, because I know these things because I'm hiring a lot of cars at the moment because they're comfier than mine. But I want to give you an update. So, crazy busy. Yesterday I had a bit of a thing happen, a bit of an incident, or some would say an accident, where I haven't been to the gym for a couple of weeks. I need to get back in some routine. I've not been eating so well. I haven't been sleeping as well as I should, just because I've been just trying to just do things. Went to the gym yesterday. It was all fine. The last 5 minutes did some cardio. Didn't feel so good. Then I kind of left. As I was walking out, it felt a bit odd, a bit peaky. So I just sort of rested up against this kind of post. And I just thought, well, I'll just wait here because I don't feel so good. And then I woke up 20 foot away on the floor. And some dude was poking me, going, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Well, what are you lying on the floor for?" And I was like, "Am I? I don't know." So I just passed out. Just literally, it all got to me and I passed out. But that's one of the things with Crohn's. I have Crohn's, blood sugar levels, just difficult trying to do the routine. And that's the hard thing with burning the candles at both ends. My Crohn's doesn't really like it. It's not my friend when I do that. But yeah, other than that, it's been really, really good. It's been a mental couple of weeks. But the thing I wanted to talk about was because today I've had some great meetings and I wanted to talk about value. I wanted to talk a little bit about providing the value, and something that sort of crops up quite regularly is this idea of fair, of I give you this and you give me something of equal return. And I heard this amazing thing that Gary Vaynerchuk said the other day, which was that a lot of the time he tries to provide 51% and take 49%, so that way people feel like they win and they're a lot happier, and he's still getting 49%. And I was thinking, that is an amazing way of thinking. However, I would go a step further and I would say you could do that up to 90%, because 10% giving 100% or giving 90% in order to take 10% worth of value is, in a lot of instances, very, very valuable from a personal branding point of view, of building your brand and building your momentum. For example, when I went to Manchester, I met some amazing people, some inspirational musicians and bands, and it was free. Like, I wasn't selling anything. I was selling nothing at all. I just paid for it. I paid for the travel. I paid for the hotel rooms. You know, I just wanted to sit with musicians and help them on their journey. All they had to do was turn up and talk to me, and I felt like there was no catch. It was just something. Now, you know, that's not a 49, 51%. That's a 90, 10. You know, I'm giving for free. I'm not trying to sell anything. There's nothing to sell. All I want to do is, I do want to film it in case I want to use some of the footage, but I just feel like what I'm doing there is personal branding. I just want people to go away and say, "Oh, I've just had this great meeting with Damo." Who's Damo? Oh, he's this music guy who helps musicians and helps bands. That's, to me, is the value, and that 10% is all I need. So if I can do that on a one-to-one basis, and I can provide that much value to you guys, hopefully that it's value, then that 10% is worth not just monetary value. It's just worth so much. It's worth numbers, it's worth money, it's worth engagement, it's worth new friends, it's worth a million new opportunities, it's worth everything, and all I need is that 10%. I'm quite happy to give 90% just to get that 10%. And I think this word fair, I hear a lot. That's not fair. And I'm thinking, well, I do loads of stuff which aren't fair. I don't really care about fair. What I care about is, am I doing the thing which I love to do, which is building my brand or my business? And if I'm giving the lion's share of value in order to get something which I see a lot of value in, then I feel like I win. And it was something that I heard the other day, and I just thought it was a very interesting way of thinking about giving so much more than you take. Because if you look at that, if you do that over the long term, if I can meet 10 musicians a day, or if I can do something which helps 10 musicians a day, every day, that's 3,500 musicians a year. And if all of those 3,500 musicians a year tell 3 people, that's 10,000 musicians a year. And then the next year, if I can do the same thing again, it's another 10,000 musicians a year. But the first 10,000 musicians are also talking about it, and it's this snowball effect, and it's kind of growing and growing and growing. And it all stems from, can I find a way of helping 10 musicians today, whether it's with content like this, whether it's with one-to-ones, face-to-face, Skype meetings, anything, just anything I can do. Is there a way I can help 10 musicians today in order for them to have a better career and just tell 1, 2 or 3 people, which will therefore help me? And so, you know, it's a selfish way of looking at it, but also a very sort of a giving way of looking at it. I want to provide value so that I get value, and that is fair to me. You know, 90-10 in that instance, fair. I don't see it needs to be a 50-50. I don't see it needs to be that I come to Manchester, I'm putting this stuff on, and you need to pay me for my time, because I feel like I'm getting enough out of it, so therefore I'm doing it. So I'm gonna go back to Brighton. It's gonna take me about 3 hours, and I'm gonna get some sleep tonight. Woohoo! Tomorrow I've got a big day. I don't know if I can take you with me tomorrow. Do you know, I've got so many exciting things coming up, and I'm really, really excited to tell you about it, and it's just not the right time. There's 2 big things that I just can't tell you about yet. It's probably going to be December. It's probably going to be January. It's going to be the first week of January 2018. There's some big shit which I think is going to help you guys, and it's going to be some big stuff. So I can't tell you about it yet. I'm working on it very, very hard. If I'm not doing vlogs, it's because I'm doing stuff that I can't really tell you about, but I'm going to try and keep doing the daily vlogs. I want you to hit me up. And you know, also I did a video this week. I don't know if anyone's still watching this, but I did a video this week, and it was about the hashtag 60min winners. And I think a lot of people obviously don't see the value in watching a video on who won, which is completely fine. But in there, I did a new competition, which I've just done for a one-off. I'm going to pay for a rehearsal room in Brighton for a band to come down and rehearse. I'm going to be there. I'm going to sit with you. I'm going to rehearse with you. I'm going to watch you. I'm going to work on live performance. I'm going to work on your actual set. I'm going to talk about your socials. I'm going to talk about all of those things. And we'll do it for 3 hours, but I'm only doing it with one band, and I'm going to pay for it. You'll have to get yourself to Brighton, so don't enter if you can't get to Brighton. But in this instance, if you can get to Brighton and you want to have a rehearsal with your band, with me, we'll figure out a time, and we will work on getting your band tighter, a bigger show, fronting the band, and any other things you want to talk about, social media, whatever it is you want to talk about. You've got me for 3 hours. If you want to do that, you need to start hashtag 60min and then right after it, something like rehearsal competition, or just something so I know it's obvious, and then put a link to your band underneath so I can see what you're after, because not many people engaged, and I just think it's a really good competition. It's a way I can really help. This is something I can do. I spent 10 years teaching live performance workshop at both ACM and BIM before I left to set up the management company where I sat with bands day in, day out. I can really help you with this shit. So if you're a band, you want to work on getting a bit tighter, some arrangement stuff, your band's set list, how you can come across bigger live, then get in hashtag 60min put rehearsal competition, and then just put a link to your band so I can see your band, and one of you I'll pick, and we'll go and do some work. Anyway, it's 10 minutes in. I gotta go. I'm gonna go back to Brighton. Have a great day. Goodbye from Warwick Services.